Thanks to the support as a channel member, Tim Babbage. Fingers crossed today we book ourselves into Europe of some flavour, ideally the Champions League, but any flavour of Europe will be fine as Wimbledon. We've only been in it once before in our history, and that was 2 years ago before I got here. But regardless of where we end up this season, the rebuild has got properly underway. There's players leaving, there's players arriving, all sorts of money being thrown around. And I have gone back to colon just one more time. So firstly, looking at the pre-arranged transfers out, Angel Caicedo is going to Championship Reading for £48.5 million. We are living in a future where Reading buy a player off of Wimbledon for nearly £50 million and they're not even in the Premier League. That's bonkers. So he's on his way out. Great business for a 31-year-old. Equally, 31-year-old Bogdan Huza is going to Atletico for £35 million. They're both confirmed. We've also got multiple offers in for 33-year-old Owen Hines. He turned down a £15 million move to Valencia and no one else will pay anywhere near that. That's nice. We still want him gone anyway. And Patrick Clements, hopefully off to Al Fateh for £2.5 million. So that's £100 million worth of money come in if they all go through, which again is only 25 million going into my kitty. We need to get this sorted, and then we might be able to get that sorted. And remember, we've still got lots of players out of contract at the end of the season as well. So this is by no means the end of transfer business, but we do have some pre-arranged players coming in as well. Already confirmed Lucas Brizuela, that's a disaster. We've barely used him. I'm not happy about that. Much happier about Carlos Salcedo, a 23-year-old Mexican international, can play defensive midfield or central midfield. He is better than any other player we've got in that position. He's spent all of his career in Mexico so far. Been getting assists from defensive midfield, which is very nice. And we also have Ramiro Herrera coming in. Yes, he was quite injury prone early on at Colon, but he turned into an absolute goal-scoring superstar. That was the year we won the Copa Libertadores. He then finished top scorer of the year after as well and has been scoring well this season. We've brought him in not necessarily even to play centre forward, but because of his versatility to play anywhere across the front three. I expect more than just Caicedo to leave as strikers this summer. We're trying to rebuild the team in my image. And for £8.5 million, Herrera is my kind of guy. And we also have a couple that we're trying to bring in. So we're waiting on a work permit for Alexandra, who is a 21-year-old Brazilian centre-back and left-back, 6 foot tall. Can't teach that. He'd be jolly nice. We've also offered a contract to Enrique, who's a 19-year-old centre-back and left-back, who's 6'2", and we've also just put an offer in for Ramiro Jaramillo, who's an 18-year-old Argentinian under-20 international who can play anywhere across the back four. We're just trying to get some young players into the team. And on that note, we've also offered a contract to Alain Coste, who is an 18-year-old Belgian actual legitimate wonder kid, can play on the right wing and up front. Not either position that we necessarily need to strengthen, although if he's at the top end of these physicals at 18, he will end up as our starting striker. Real Madrid are interested in him as well. So I figure that's probably a guy we want to be part of this project. That is £82 million worth of player. £35 million would need to be paid now. So we can't do all of them. We're going to have to make some decisions unless we can get some more players out the door. And of course, we haven't actually had next season's transfer budget yet. That will be set depending on what European competition we're in. And with 2 games to go, we're level on points with Manchester City, who are in 4th place. We're in 5th. Arsenal, who we play on the last day of the season away from home, are a point behind us. West Ham, who we play now away from home, are also a point behind us. We could finish as low as 7th. We shouldn't finish as low as 8th, but we could finish as low as 7th or as high as 4th. Theoretically, we could still finish 8th and miss out on Europe altogether. That seems unlikely, but form has got a little bit wibbly wobbly in the last 3 matches. Almost as if form has fallen off as I've started selling our most influential players. I don't see the connection myself. This is the team for the game against West Ham. It's Clements in goal, a back four of Medina, Hines, Huza and Menacho. Gian at the base of the midfield, Kawasaki and Basinger ahead of him. Jimmo on the left, Yang on the right, Kasongo up front. This team is going to look very different next season. I have got full rebuild shenanigans plans in place. You're only just seeing the start of it, boys and girls. We are going to put together a team of young players from all across the world, bringing in all of my experience throughout this Pentagon challenge. We want at least one from each continent. We've got South Africans, we've got an Asian in the shape of Yang, and also got Kawasaki, and although Kawasaki might be leaving, we'd like an African and a North American at the very least as well, just to have a little bit of everything. I guess we've got the Mexican lad coming in. He counts as North American, doesn't he? So we just need... Do we have any African players? We might have to go and get ourselves a South African. It seems wrong to have a team of mine not have a South African in it. Maybe we need to go and bring in Kurt Villakazi as an alternate option at centre forward. If we've got the two young pacey players in Herrera and this Belgian guy, assuming Kasongo leaves as well, which is a big assumption at the moment. But if we've got two young pacey chaps, maybe we just need a big lump of man to be a plan B for us in the shape of Kurt Villakazi. That's all assuming Kasongo leaves as well, which he might not. Who knows? I mean, I'm not against keeping him. He's the Premier League's top scorer at the moment. He's just not really my kind of striker. I want someone with a little bit more physicality. He's more of just like a fox in the box tap-in merchant, not really my kind of striker. Even though he does score goals, and I know you lot love this kind of stuff. We've had stuff like this in the past. There's multiple names that could no doubt fill the comments section now of strikers who scored goals for fun, but I just never really wanted in the team. There was a guy at Bourne, and I can't remember his name. I'm sure you lot all will, who was Premier League top scorer multiple years in a row, and I was forever trying to replace him. And then I did, and I was right, because then we won the Champions League. But people always get a little bit upset that I forced it and made it happen. I have a vision of how I want football to be played, and 5'10", not very quick strikers are not really part of it. Menacho plays it into Medina and tries to slide it across the area. Jimmo falls to Basinger and he hammers it home. I mean, he's certainly not offside there. And anyone who is offside's not interfering with play. He's walloped that in from range. There's no way there's a player offside as part of this move. Hideous. Absolutely hideous. Prove to me that somebody is offside and interfering with play. Where is it? Right. I mean, that's ridiculous. Okay, it is Kasongo who lays the ball back. Maybe I'll reluctantly admit that he was a little bit offside. I mean, he was barely offside. It's like Man City are losing. That's huge. Bournemouth have taken the lead against Man City. So as it stands at the moment, we move up to 4th place. We are obviously needing to keep an eye on what Arsenal are doing as well. It doesn't look like Arsenal are playing today. So I guess they'll have the game in hand and could still leapfrog us. Obviously, we're playing West Ham, one of the other teams we're competing with, but moving above Man City would be huge. If we could grab a winning goal here, that would be huger. And as you can see, we're both being very cowardly. We both know what's at stake, and no one's really committing too much in the way of bombing forward. Look at how tired all my players are. What is this? This is why we need to get rid of the old men and bring in youngsters. We need players who can gegenpress all the time. Because this is not okay. I shouldn't have to make all these substitutions. Where's Dante Cruz? At moments like this, a 6'5" player to come on for corners is probably not the worst plan. And here is a corner. There is Cruz. He can't find him on this occasion, but that's going to be, hopefully, a route to go that we pursue as this match continues. 20 minutes remaining. It's still 0-0. Man City still losing. So as it stands right now, we still occupy 4th place and will going into the final day of the season, depending on what Arsenal do. I don't know who Arsenal are playing. We've got one more player to throw on and roll the dice. We don't have any midfielders left. The midfielders are all tired and broken. So I think what we'll do for the final change, I kind of want to get Thiago Henrique on somehow. In fact, we've got Caicedo there. Do we just throw Caicedo on up front? In fact, what we could do is put Caicedo out there. Rezali, of course, can play there, which is bonkers in itself. But get him one last time. He's obviously leaving. He's going to be playing for Reading next year, who look like they are going to get promoted to the Premier League. So he will be staying in the Premier League. But can he score the goal that would, I mean, if he scored, it would probably get us into the Champions League. With Man City losing, this is a massive opportunity that we're just not capitalising on. Oh, it's going to be tense going into the final day. Goodness me. Nothing. Right. We need to see what Arsenal do in their match. Who are Arsenal playing and when are they playing them? Arsenal play Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea are kind of in the mix as well. We need Chelsea to do us a favour. Right. Yes, I do want to sign this man. I also want to see the result in the Arsenal game. I don't know why I've refused to promise an English course. We're obviously going to send him on one. I just don't want to promise it. Right, show me the Arsenal result. We're not even going to cut away. We want to see the Arsenal result. We're cheering Chelsea on here. A Chelsea win here would be massive for us. Cross everything. We are still sat in fourth. Has the match happened yet? I don't think the match has happened yet. Oh, there you go. Right, the match is happening now. And it's 0-0. We are in fourth place going into the final day where we just need to beat Arsenal, who couldn't even beat Chelsea. So, frankly, we should be able to do that. So here we go then. Final game of the season. It's very simple. We just need to beat Arsenal. If we beat Arsenal, we are definitely in the Champions League. If we draw, I mean, realistically, obviously they then finish below us. If we draw, there's a pretty good chance we've got Europa League. Who are Man City playing? Man City are playing Brighton and West Ham are playing Liverpool, who've already won the league. So, I mean, fingers crossed Liverpool deal with West Ham and then Man City bottle it. I mean, ignore all that. Let's just beat Arsenal. It's simple. Let's just beat Arsenal. And I mean, let's face it, if we're going to be good enough to play in the Champions League, these are the kind of matches we need to be able to win anyway. And I realise there's a lot of these players that might not even be here next year as the rebuild continues full steam ahead. Obviously, the next episode that will continue big time. We've got lots of plans, and getting into the Champions League will certainly allow us to fast forward those plans. We don't expect to be in a position to win it anytime soon, but certainly getting into it would go a long way towards allowing us to spend an absolute ton of money, which we'd very much like to be able to do. Going 1-0 down after 4 minutes, not the ideal outcome from today's proceedings. That, as you can see, puts us down to 6th as things stand, which should, I think, still be enough for the Europa League. I guess we have to weigh up. Do we want Champions League and the money that comes with it? Yes, obviously that's what we want. Liverpool have just taken the lead against West Ham. That's huge. Or, I mean, Conference League, we definitely win. Europa League, I think we'd have a good chance of winning. But the Champions League makes us more money. It's, decisions. I think realistically, we'd be better off with the Champions League money and then getting knocked out of it relatively early to focus on getting into it again the following year, rather than being in the Europa League and potentially, because of the volume of football we'd have to play, getting in a position where we had to win it, which would not be ideal. Right, Man City are beating Brighton. Liverpool are beating West Ham 2-0 now. So as it stands, we are going to finish 6th because West Ham won't leapfrog us. Man City and Arsenal both will. Obviously, an equaliser here turns all that on its head once again. And Kasongo, that's why he's being replaced. Ramiro Herrera scores there. It's upsetting to me. Yeah. Right. Somebody do something, please. I'd love another option in midfield to better change things up a little bit in there. All these players we've got coming in, very few of them are actual central midfielders. I think most of the defenders and attackers that we need will be in at the start of the next episode, at the start of the transfer special. The focus will then be on getting a proper goalkeeper and a new midfield. But we're 2-0 down now. So I suspect we're not going to get in the Champions League unless there's a massive turnaround in the Man City game. They're 2-0 up over Brighton. we'd need Brighton to have a big turnaround to push us. Would that even push us back up to 5th? I'm not even sure that it would. Brighton have scored twice. Right. That doesn't put us above Man City. It doesn't help. We need a 3rd goal from Brighton. Man City have scored again. It's all kicking up. This is, I mean, I've been saying for years, we need picture in picture. I need to be able to watch 3 matches here. Right. Hines, that's probably his final moment as a Wimbledon player. Get him gone. Manacho is going to come on. Sheehan, again, final moment from him. He'll be going back to Manchester City. And then we're just shuffling around everybody else, trying to get attackers onto the pitch because we need to attack. So let's do this. In fact, we want to do that. Get him as a pressing forward. Get him as an inside forward. And you are going to be a playmaker. We're not going to play with a ball-winning midfielder because we're not cowards. We're going to go very attacking. I mean, we've got to score 3 times. So we're throwing everybody forward. We've got to score 3 times and hope something goes off at Manchester City, potentially. Although I guess scoring 3 times, we finish above Arsenal, and that still gets us 5th. West Ham are now 2-2 against Liverpool. This could still end in disaster. As it stands right now, we're down in 7th, which I think is going to be Conference League. We had the Champions League in our grasp. It looks like it's going to be the Conference League, which I guess we do then just have to go on and win. But it's going to be much harder to attract players, much harder to keep the players we want to keep, and we'll have much less money to spend. Look at Caicedo dancing around, his final appearance in a Wimbledon shirt. Yeah, we've been comfortably outclassed here. Part of me thinks it's not deliberate self-sabotage, but if I'd have just waited until the end of the season to start disassembling the team, we wouldn't have upset everybody. It was as soon as I started selling key players like Caicedo, like Huza. We haven't won since then. Almost as if I completely destroyed morale. But on the flip side of it, I wanted to get transfers done before new budgets come in. What I didn't want to... There was logic. I'm not sure the logic stands up now. Let's see what where we've actually finished and what we're actually going to be playing in Conference League. By the looks of it, we finished 7th, which is really disappointing considering where we were. There's still the possibility that depending on the trophies themselves, we get bumped up to Europa League, I guess. But I suppose Conference League, like I say, we should win the Conference League. We've got our Premier League pennies. Have we got a transfer budget yet? We haven't. I'd quite like to see a transfer budget, please. Now we know what competition we're in. Do we get to see a transfer budget? Apparently we don't. No transfer budget for me? No? Kasongo's top scorer in the Premier League. I mean, that should be enough to convince someone to come and give me 70 million for him. He's definitely for sale. But I don't think... Oh, there you go. I mean, what's happened here? You lot wanted Wimbledon. You've brought this on yourselves. I mean, I do have a lot of pre-arranged transfers. It's not ideal. We have got a load of players leaving, so I guess we can move some budget around some way, somehow. Can we do that yet? Yeah, okay. It is manageable because that committed spending includes all of these players who are already coming in. And I've tried to do like the players that are leaving are being replaced. I think we'll be okay. I need to come up with a new plan. And we need to win the Conference League, I guess. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much to these beautiful Patreon rascals. and thank you very much for watching.